It's the start of another season, and today we are going to be planting our pepper seeds. We have 3 greenhouses that we need to fill, and I'll be showing you guys the entire process that I do to seed the peppers and everything I do before I transplant them into the greenhouse. So I use these Grodan starter plugs to start my pepper seedlings, and what I've done here is I've mixed up a nutrient solution here with a 1.5 EC and a pH of 5.7. So that's what we want to start our seeds with, is a lower EC, and then when the plants grow more, we'll start to give them a higher EC. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to soak these into the nutrient solution, and then we'll be ready to plant the seeds. Now that the starter plugs are done soaking, we're just going to go ahead and put them into the seedling tray. Now we're ready to plant the seeds, and with these Rockwool cubes, they come pre-drilled with a little hole in the middle. So all I do is just push that seed in there a little bit. Okay, so I've planted all the pepper seeds, I've put the humidity domes on them, and now I'm just going to set this room to around 80 Fahrenheit. The peppers, they need heat to sprout, so that's really important. You guys could use heating mats, but I find it easier to just heat up this grow tent here. Today is March 11th. It's been 9 days since we planted the pepper seeds, and the majority of the seeds have sprouted. There's a few more here that are just starting to sprout now. There's a couple more that might not end up sprouting, but overall we're seeing pretty good germination rates. Some of these pepper varieties, they do take a little bit longer to sprout. Since planting these seeds, I haven't watered them at all yet, and since the cubes are getting a little bit dry, I think today is going to be the first day that we give them a little bit more water. So we're just going to continue with that 1.5 EC feed. Just give them a good soaking. It's day 22 since planting the seeds, and we are going to be transplanting our pepper seedlings here into these Rockwool cubes. These are 4-inch Grodan Rockwool cubes, and the plants don't look the best, to be honest. I made a few mistakes, and you could see the sporadic germination. Some of the plants are not as big as the other ones. Some of these plants are a little bit lanky looking and burnt looking. And I think the problem was when I set the temperature in this grow tent, I used this temperature probe to set the temperature on the heater, and the probe was reading the temperature in the grow tent. However, these plants, they had these humidity domes on them, and with the light running, the dome ended up getting a lot hotter than the tent. So what I should have done is put this probe inside of the humidity dome with the plants to avoid them from overheating. And the other thing that caused the plants to be kind of long and weak looking is I didn't have the light low enough. So pepper plants do need quite a bit of light to stay strong, and obviously I didn't give them enough light. So the plants have started to recover a little bit so far, but I think transplanting them will help them rebound a little bit, and we'll just see how well they recover. It's day 31 since we planted our pepper seeds, and they are almost ready for the greenhouse. We had a rough start with these plants, but they are looking really good now. So I'm planning on transplanting them into the greenhouse this weekend, and that is a couple days from today. So before we transplant them into the greenhouse, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit more about my indoor grow setup here. So right here we have a standard 4x8 grow tent, and right here I just have a circulation fan. I have 2 LED lights, and right here we have a temperature controller. This is a AC infinity temperature controller with a inline fan. I have a carbon filter there. You guys don't really need that. I just have one, so I leave it on there. And with these grow trays here, these are just standard, I think they're called flood trays. And I use these just to capture all the water when I'm watering my plants. And there is a drain at the bottom. It drains into this little giant pump, and then that just pumps it into this bucket here. I could reuse this water for house plants or any other plants, but I usually don't like to reuse it on these plants here. I find these grow trays are really useful because with hydroponics, it's really important to get that drainage every time we water our plants. So it just helps capture the water, and we don't want to have our plants sitting in stagnant water. That will cause major problems. So it just makes the setup way more efficient and effective. So yeah, in the next video, I'll be showing you guys the transplant in the greenhouse. That's one of my favorite parts, and I'll see you guys in that video.